He said, he's a bad guy. It always works out bad with that guy. I said, oh, man, I wish you told me this 2 weeks ago. I already hired him. He's here. And he was right. But he was good in a certain way. He's a nut job. And every time I had to deal with a country, when they saw this whack job standing behind me, they said, oh, man, Trump's going to go to war with us. He was with Bush when they went stupidly into the Middle East. They should have never done it. I used to say it as a civilian. So I always got more publicity than other people. And it wasn't like I was trying. In fact, I don't know exactly why. Maybe you can tell me.
Well, I could definitely tell you. You said a lot of wild shit.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a lot of wild shit, and then CNN, in all their brilliance, by highlighting your wild shit, made you much more popular.
Yeah.
And they boosted you in the polls because people were tired of someone talking in this bullshit, pre-prepared politician lingo. And even if they didn't agree with you, they at least knew whoever that guy is, that's him. That's really him. When you see certain people talk, certain people in the public eye, you don't know who they are. You have no idea who they are. It's very difficult to know. You see them in conversations. They have these pre-planned answers. They say everything. It's very rehearsed. You never get to the meat of it. One of the beautiful things about you is that you freeball. Like, you get out and you do these huge events and you're just talking. And you're making. We've highlighted you on the show many times where you did this Biden impression where he's walking around, he doesn't know what he's doing. It's stand up. It's funny stuff. But it's like and you're making fun of Elon one time. We're doing an Elon impression. It's great. You have like comedic instincts. Like when you said to Hillary, you'd be in jail. Like, that's great timing.
Yeah.
But it's like that kind of stuff was unheard of as a politician. Like, no one had done that. And I think...
It's funny. You need at least the attitude of a comedian when you're doing this business. This is a very dangerous business, first of all. It's a very tough business.
It's the most dangerous, yes. Imagine if there was assassination attempts on Biden, how hard people would be attacking the right, how they would be trying to get guns taken away from people. They would try to ramp up gun laws. They would try to figure out some way to blame you. If there was attacks if Biden got shot in the ear, we would have never heard the end of it.
But I think he's in good shape because it's only consequential presidents. If you take a look at what's happened, look, I'm for having countries pay us billions and billions and trillions even dollars. I took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. Nobody took in 10 cents, not one other president. I do things that that don't necessarily make me so popular. I just do what's right. And when you do that, you're more, look at Iran. We would have never had the attack on Israel at all. Iran was broke. I told China, if you buy, you can't do business in the United States under any circumstances. We're going to go cold turkey with China. Some people think that would have been a good idea anyway. But if you buy any oil, 1 barrel of oil from them, you're not doing business. And I said that to many countries. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hezbollah. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money. But I make myself, I understand what I'm doing. You make yourself a target. And it's a very dangerous business. But if you just look at statistically... So I said a thing, I don't know if it's right, but 0.1% for a race car driver. Yeah, it's a pretty dangerous business, right?
Yeah.
0.1% for a bull rider. I tell you, to me,
you talking death?
These guys that ride the bulls is worse than UFC. It's worse.
Yeah.
These guys, you see these big monster bulls, and you see it in slow motion where the foot is like, an inch away from the head. If it hits him, the guy's gone. But they die. They die.
So 0.1% die. What are you saying?
Yeah, 0.1% die.
Right.
And they certainly get hurt badly. Or really, they can't walk after a certain period of time. But with a president, if you look at
the amount of assassination.
It's interesting when you mentioned I was very popular, and all those people loved me. There's some of these women. They're so stupid, and Joy, she would every time she'd see me, I'd be in the theater or something, and you have to be on the show again. Come on, let's go.
Yeah, she loved you.
To love me. And how about that other one, the new one on there, the one from my administration? She writes me a letter. You're the greatest president. She leaves. She worked as an assistant press secretary. I hardly knew her, but she leaves and she writes me this gorgeous letter. What's her name? She was. I don't even know. Anyway, she was in the administration. She's on now currently. sits on the far right-hand side, whatever the hell her name is. And she writes a letter, the most beautiful letter. She's quoted in the paper. He was the greatest president, blah, blah, blah. Then all of a sudden she goes to the View. She started hitting the hell out of me because they won't hire her unless. I've had many people go on CNN and they called and said, I don't know what to do. They want to pay me a lot, but I have to be negative. And I said, be negative. That's okay. There are guys on like CNN. They won't hire them. Sean Duffy is a congressman, and he retired. He got a good job with CNN, but he was only positive about Trump. So they kept him, but they would never put him on. I mean, I respect what he did. He could have gone, negative. I tell people, go negative.